Graham and Rita Jones are in love with big cats, having spent 16 years running their own safari park. They've retired here to Portavogie in County Down with some of their cat friends, and their passion for cats is still as strong today as it was when they first started.
That's that little boy. That's Claire again.
Well, we watched a film called Born Free, and I saw a lion on the top of a Land Rover, and I didn't think these lions would become tame like that. So I said, I think I'll get a little lion cub. And my wife said, well, if you bring a lion cub home, I'm going. But anyway, the lion cub did come home, and she didn't go. She took a liking for it, and within a year or two we had reared lions, and then we had a leopard or two, and we spoke to some circus people who said, you might do it with a lion, but you'll never tame a leopard or a tiger. You know, they'll get you. They're very, very dangerous, have your throat. So I got a little cub, and it was a challenge. And the leopards and black panthers and tigers and lions were all the same. There was no difference in the personality. And so long as the animals themselves are from good stock and not a bit crazy, like a lot of animals are in captivity. Well, I think they think that I'm part of them. You know, I think they see me, if they're a tiger, see me as a tiger, a stronger tiger than them. They're more frightened of me. You know, say for instance one, I've never had one go for me, but if any went for me, I wouldn't back off by any means. You know, I'd face them and I'd get my fist and hit him right hard in the nose. I always remember there was a leopard once, and this leopard, I used to go in the cage and just play with him, and this day he was right at the far end of the cage, and he sprung and he was sailing through the air to my shoulders, and as he was coming to land I got my fist and I hit him right on the nose, a real hard one, and he went down, he was dizzy, and he never did it after that. You get these cats round you, they rely on you, you know, and you can't, you've got to just think of the cat. You can't say, well, I'm going away for tomorrow, or I'm going away for a holiday. We never had a holiday for 12 years. I think once we went away, and we left...
went to Crufts.
We went to Crufts once, and you know, the animals, the food was there when we came, they wouldn't touch the food somebody else had put in for them. They wouldn't touch it. And as soon as we came back from Crufts about 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, and we could hear them making noises and going down, went there, and they, you know, they were panicking. And when they saw us, they ran to the food and started eating it. Ever so different.
Elsa was nearly crying, wasn't she?
Yeah, Elsa was nearly crying.
Yeah, she really had tears.
Yeah.
You have developed a tremendous level of communication with animals. Yeah. You are an extremely special and fortunate person to have this particular skill. Yeah. But parting with those animals that you had to leave behind you, that must have been very sad.
I knew that if they were left to other people, that they wouldn't be happy, and they'd be in trouble all the time. If one of the shutters broke or something, they couldn't go into them. They'd be using tranquilizer guns, and you know, we would never have a tranquilizer gun on the place. And I thought the best thing is that as they've had such a lovely life, and they did have a nice life, they're about 10 or 12 years old, and in the wild they only live to about 8 years, but in captivity they do live a long time because they're well looked after. So I thought that the best thing to do was to end the majority of the lives, and it only takes a second to do that. But you know, and it took us for a second to be put down. But I've seen since animals put down in other zoos, and it's been heartbreaking. It's an absolute disgrace. The vet comes and he gets a tranquilizer gun and he shoots the animal. Well, as you know, a tranquilizer does not put that animal down immediately. It takes about 10 minutes to a quarter of an hour. It's running around mad, and then when it's put down, he then goes and injects a lethal dose of poison into it. Now, that wouldn't appeal to me. I've seen that done in 2 or 3 zoos in the past few years, and you know, the animals when they just throw them onto a skip. I saw that. But with my way of doing was that you speak to them nicely and they come and they don't know what's going to happen, and the next minute they've gone to the world where we're all going. It's like, there's not much difference in human beings now. It's like you having a child and you bringing it up, and when it got to about 8 or 9, you have to part with that child because you can't look after it. And all the time, if you didn't see it again, you'd think, what's happening to that child? What, is it happy? Or, you know, and you'd be worrying all the time. But this may sound a bit nasty, but if that child had died of cancer when it was about 8 or 9, you then would be thinking of the child, but you wouldn't be thinking what's happening to it because it's already gone and you've got a memory. You know, it'd be like writing a book, and the end of the book you wouldn't understand what was happening. So really what we did, I think, was the finest thing, you know, that we could have done.
Very upsetting.
Oh, it's very, very, very bad. I was under the doctor for about a year. I mean, I don't drink, but I started drinking and just, you know, I don't drink now much. So, you know, I was trying to get tranquilizer tablets and everything. And then after 1 or 2 had been, it took a year to put them down. After 1 or 2 had been put down, I used to walk around the zoo and see the others, you know, and think, well, you know, it's your turn next. It was a terrible thing to have to do all the time, especially as there was no animals anywhere in Great Britain that were so tame as mine. You know, I could go into them and do anything with them. They just idolised me, you know.
My husband never told me when they were going to be put to sleep. I didn't know until after, because, you know, they were my babies actually. I brought them all up and I used to feed them all. But, you know, I thought it was dreadful at the time, but I know now we did the right thing. Because no one could have taken them anyway, we had too many.
And my wife had one particular friend, you know, really nice friend, a puma, the mother of this one you've seen today. And she always wanted to bring him with her here, or, you know, and when they came to put the others down, I went to the bedroom and she asked her how hers was. I said, it's gone as well. Tell them.